are testing ourselves and being tested. And God knows best.
Question: why did God not endow his servants equally? Why did he create some of them blind, disabled, or afflicted in other ways? Answer: to begin with, God is sovereign. He is the Lord of both earthly and spiritual dominions. He wills and creates whatever in them and however he pleases. Blessed be he to whom all sovereignty belongs. He has power over all things. No one has any part in his sovereignty, nor can anyone intervene in what he creates except as he wills and to the extent he wills. It is God who created every cell of every tissue of every living thing and the whole of inanimate creation besides. It is God who bestows our human nature upon us. We have given nothing to God, but he has given us everything without our deserving it. What claim or right have we therefore over anything? If we had given something to God in return for what he has bestowed upon us, we might, perhaps, claim 2 eyes instead of 1, or make objection to having 1 arm instead of 2. But, since we have not given anything to God, by what right dare we impute injustice to him? Injustice comes from not giving what is due. It is both improper and irrational to impute any such thing to God, who is absolutely free of injustice, since he is the giver of everything that we have or use or see. What have we returned in exchange for what we have received? God the Almighty created each of us out of nothing. Is more, he created each of us human. It might have been otherwise. It might not have been at all. If you observe and investigate all that is around you, you will certainly realize that there are many creations different from yourself, inferior or worse in your judgment, with which you would not change places, just as there may be others with which you might, out of misguided thinking or envy of some kind, wish to change places. There is a second aspect to this question, namely the providence of God. God may deprive an individual of something he or she values, but grant that individual a manifold return for that loss in the hereafter. By means of that loss, God makes you feel your need, your powerlessness, your poverty in relation to him. In this way, he makes you turn to him with a weightier sincerity, a fuller heart, and so makes you worthy and favor. Thus your apparent loss is in reality a gain. This is comparable to death in the way of God, or martyrdom for which the return is heaven. When a man dies a martyr on the battlefield, he is elevated to such a rank on the day of judgment that even the most righteous and sincere long for what has been bestowed upon him, and wish themselves to die or to have died in the same way. Even if such a man were dismembered, that would not mean a loss for him in relation to what he has gained. What he receives in eternity is infinitely greater and more valuable than any loss in the world of time. Although a small handful of disadvantaged or disabled people may feel hurt and cast down, and, as a result of their disabilities, stray from their faith or abandon it altogether, a far greater number are strengthened in their faith. It is not correct to pretend to an exaggerated, indeed false sympathy with the disabled as a pretext for disbelief. Far better it is, even essential, that an ardent yearning for eternal life be aroused in such people, for then they are worthy for an immense reward in eternity. If the disabilities of some lead those who are of good health to affirm and recognize all that they should be grateful for, and to make improvement in their persons, in their humanity, and in their closeness to God, the wisdom in divine providence is also affirmed and recognized.